a distinguished public policy fellow at the American University of Beirut. Thank you so much for being with us here on the program. We're seeing a serious escalation between Hezbollah and Israel. What are your thoughts?
Well, they've been doing this for about 20 years or so, since the Israelis pulled out of their occupation of South Lebanon. And they've had some major wars, and they've had smaller tit-for-tat skirmishes. But this has been going on now almost on a daily basis since the attack in Gaza started. And this has to be seen as part of the Israel-Hamas, Israel-Gaza war, but also as part of the broader conflict that Israel has with many of its Arab neighbors, of which Hezbollah is the strongest militarily and the best organized and the most able to actually hurt Israel militarily. So we have to see this as just a slight ratcheting up of a tension or a conflict, a low-intensity conflict that's been there for months and months and months. It's not going to explode into a full war, I don't think. I've been saying this for years, because neither side wants a full war, because it would be so devastating to both sides. The Hezbollah has shown recently the more sophisticated drones and missiles and its targeting technology that it has to attack. It's attacked military bases, and it's set off forest fires in northern Israel. So it has much more sophisticated capabilities, and of course Israel does too. So I think they're going to try to avoid a full war. Netanyahu is going full bravado with his statements, but that's his style. All he has is military power. He doesn't have anything else to really use as a political weapon. And so he just talks about turning Beirut into Gaza and destroying all of Lebanon. And this is for his domestic consumption and to keep him in power. So that's where we are, I think, right now.
Well, as you touched on, Lebanon isn't Gaza and Hezbollah isn't Hamas. What is Israel up against here? And what would be the geopolitical ramifications of a widening war into Lebanon, even though you don't think that this would escalate into a full-blown out war?
Well, if there were a full-fledged war, which could happen, it could happen by accident. Somebody sets off a rocket that hits something big and or goes into a city or something, or it could happen intentionally. The ramifications of a full war is that it would probably bring in other actors in the Middle East. You have Hamas already. Iran might get involved. Some of the forces, the Iranian-backed forces in Syria and Iraq, the Ansarullah Houthis in Yemen, and the Americans would get pulled in, as they were the other about 2 months ago when you had the Iran-Israel exchange of symbolic attacks. They weren't real attacks. So that's the implications of a full-fledged war. The thing about this is that Hezbollah was created because of Israel's occupation of South Lebanon. Hezbollah and Hamas both came into being as local movements, one Palestinian, one Lebanese, because the Israelis had occupied or subjugated or sanctioned or really did terrible things to Lebanon and Hamas. And the governments in Palestine and in Lebanon were unable to protect their people. And therefore, these movements emerged into serious military forces. So the Israelis still don't understand that you can reach an agreement with both of these forces at a political level by addressing the underlying conditions, but they're not ready to do that. Israel wants total dominance of the region. Hezbollah and Hamas are the strongest example of the Arab determination not to acquiesce to that and to fight back.
Okay, Rami Khouri, thank you so much for sharing that analysis with us. I appreciate it.